Welcome to Nagaland TV. I am Yashira and you're watching Nltv News now. First headlines. PM Narendra Modi assures Uttarakhand of all required assistance to handle the flood situation. CM Puskar Singh Dhami announces ex gratia rupees 4 lakh to the kin of the deceased people. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday inaugurates the Kushinagar Airport in Uttar Pradesh. A flight from Sri Lanka becomes the first to touch down at the newly built airport. President Ramnath Kovind arrives in Patna for a 3-day visit to Bihar. Visit is a part of the centenary celebrations of the State Assembly building on Thursday. No respite for Aryan Khan as bail plea gets rejected by court in the drug on cruise case. The 23-year-old son of film star Shah Rukh Khan spending days in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail since October 8. Now the news in detail. International Home-Based Workers' Day was observed on 20th October at the supermarket below GB Union Office by organizing a sales day from 9 a.m. onwards. Self-Employed Workers Association Nagaland got registered as a trade union with the Directorate of Labour and Employment, Government of Nagaland on 24th May 2019. Self-Employed Workers Association is a union of unorganized women workers in the informal sector who are engaged in various unorganized trades employed either by self or under a temporary employer giving service to public to earn a livelihood for her and her family. Nltv reporters talked to some of the associates and understood how the workers are supporting their community as a whole, but they feel the government makes their presence feel as invisible. The workers say that they would appreciate if the government recognizes and makes the contribution of women visibilizes.
Self-Employed Women Association itu show para amikan sawa matia ite Dimapur district da amikan Self-Employed Women Association kanto member 850 member thakisha aro tate under the home-based workers, street vendors aro farmers, domestic workers inika thakisha amikan aro tate home-based workers kan ite amikan manu 500 opor thakisha Kila aji tu makan international home-based workers te mana se kola to home-based workers kan bi korporaki ki samam phal kha goods kan phal lokena society ke community ke ame khala country ke this modo kure hole bi ite tu government kan to ame khan ke invisible ase itu bra aji tu kila makan ite international laga home-based workers te mana se kola to itu to government para ami khan ke bi jani ke na ami khan ke support koribi ko ke na itu government lokote mani bola ami khan aji itu din thakise thank you
acha to Dimapur dibi to sewa to kita establish wala sa
ete Dimapur da hola sewa to 2013 da establish korisha
ami han home based workers khando ami han ba itia tak ami han do government brabi ami han ge recognize kori dia nai aro ami han Nijor la ghor de ami han bra nijor ki pare edu kiba kurina ami han nijor bra duk pra ami han bra inega kurina jayase edu karne ami han edu mohan la home based worker khan to mohan al promote kuri dibole monase edu karne ami han ge mohan edu government gibi ami han ge do janai dibi ami han ge recognize kuri dibi koina edu kuri diase aro ami han home base khan do ami han naga ama han yadi bishi jun Nijor la talent bisha se holibi mangan ido expose kruwa na parigina iniga ase tu du karne ami khan nijor laga identity ekta do ami han bra guribo koigina ami khan ido age lui chawole karne ami khan ido home base to iniga kuri ase
to apnian do home base workers kan do
ido aro ami khan sewa laga under de ase hoi
to home base workers kan alag din do khora I ido trade kurina kiniga ase
Hoi ami khan idu itia do ami khan bazar de jawo guli market de jawo guli be ami khan do kiba nukur na pai ami khan idu karne ami khan ini nijor ghor de boigina chutu mudu hilibe ami khan bra ki banabo idu ami khan bra idu sell gurina aro manu khan bra ini mohan ge wholesale lowole mun jaile ami khan bra banaigina ta khan ge wholesale di ena kuri ami khan
तो आज तो इंटरनेशनल होम बेस वर्कर्स डे माना आसे तो अलग तीन भी इनका माने ना इसना किन का
होय होय अमिखान इदो एवरी ईयर इदो इंटरनेशनल होम बेस वर्कर्स डे इदो मनाइना आइस इदो ऑब्जर्व करिना आइस अमिखान आरो इदो एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट या अमिखान ब्रा इदो ऑब्जर्व करिना आइसे
Even after years, a flyover construction project across the railway tracks in Thahekhu, once undertaken to ease traffic congestion in Dimapur and mostly in the railway station of the city, remains incomplete. Notably, project took off 5 to 6 years ago. However, all of a sudden came to a halt and raised questions among the conscious citizens. When Nltv visited the site, it came to fore that the construction stopped at an early age and the site is abandoned for almost a year now. This project incompletion therefore has left many questions unanswered. Further, it has led to some speculations that the stoppage of project might be due to non-sanctioning of fund by the centre or state or bills overdue to the contractor. However, now it is up to the government to clarify about the issue. President Ramnath Kovind arrived in Patna on Wednesday for a 3-day visit to Bihar. The visit is for the centenary celebrations of the State Assembly building on Thursday. The building hosted the inaugural session of the joint Bihar and Orissa Provincial Council on February 7, 1921. President will address the Bihar Assembly members and visit the Takht Mandir Sahib, the birthplace of Guru Gobind Singh, and the Mahavir Mandir. Kovind will also lay the foundation stone of Shatabdi Stump being built to showcase Bihar's history and plant sapling of Bodhi tree during the 3-day visit to the state. Kovind was the Bihar governor before he became the president in 2017. Soon after, he was sworn in as the president. He visited the state to launch Bihar's third phase of the agriculture roadmap. PM Narendra Modi spoke to Uttarakhand CM Pushkar Singh Dhami and assured Uttarakhand of all required assistance to handle the situation. Official death toll climbed to 46, with Nainital recording at least 18 casualties. CM Pushkar Singh Dhami announced ex gratia of Rs 4 lakh to the kin of the deceased people. A compensation of Rs 1 lakh will be given to owners whose houses have suffered damage. The Chief Minister said that compensation for loss of cattle would also be doled out.
आकलन हो गया है, नदियों ने अपना मार्ग बदल दिया है, गांव के गांव जो है उससे प्रभावित हुए हैं, पुल टूट गए हैं, खेतों को किसानों को भी बहुत बड़ी हानि हुई है, उद्योग धंधों में जो है सभी जगह जो है पानी की मार पड़ी है, बरसात और अतिवृष्टि का बहुत नुकसान हुआ है सभी जगह। और हम लोग अभी चूँकि कल भी पूरे दिन भर यही किया है, हम लोगों ने सब जगह जगह जाकर जो जहाँ पर आपदा आई है उन सभी स्थानों पर जा रहे हैं। और आज भी ये हमने क्रम बनाया है, अभी उधम सिंह नगर में खटीमा से चंपावत, भिकियासेन और रामगढ़ और पूरे क्षेत्र में आज रहेंगे और ये चलेगा। अभी हमारा पूरा प्रयास है कि जो सड़क बंद है उन सड़कों को सबसे पहले खोलें और जो लोग अभी आपदा में प्रभावित हुए हैं, बहुत सारे लोगों के अभी भी घरों में पानी घुसा हुआ है, उनको खाने पीने की कोई कमी ना हो किसी प्रकार की, उनके लिए व्यवस्था करने के लिए सभी प्रशासन को निर्देशित कर दिया गया है। 4 लाख का तत्काल मुआवजा देने को लोग कहा है जहाँ पर मृत्यु हुई है जिन परिवारों में, और साथ ही साथ प्रत्येक डीएम को 10-10 करोड़ रुपए जो है आपदा राहत के लिए उसको ये पैसा स्वीकृत कर दिया गया है कि वो तत्काल जो भी ज़रूरी व्यवस्थाएं वो करें। पोकलैंड जेसीबी लगाकर जो रास्ते बंद हैं उन रास्तों को खोलने के लिए युद्ध स्तर पर काम किया जा रहा है और साथ ही साथ जो सैलानी जो फंसे हैं उन सब धीरे धीरे सबको निकाल रहे हैं। अभी स्थिति 4 धाम यात्रा में जो है धीरे धीरे सामान्य हो रही है। यहाँ भी जो वैकल्पिक मार्ग उन मार्गों को बनाया जा रहा है।
केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री का दौरा है, क्या रहेगा दौरे में, किस तरह से बैठकें?
दौरे में वो पूरे इसका जितनी भी हमारे यहाँ पर नुकसान हुआ है उन सब का नुकसान का आकलन कर रहे हैं और आकलन के साथ साथ वो समीक्षा भी करेंगे। समीक्षा करने के अलावा एरियल सर्वे भी करेंगे।
सर, अगर हम कैजुअलिटीज़ की बात करें तो अभी तक टोटल कितनी कैजुअलिटीज़?
अभी तक ऑफिशियली हमारे पास 46 लोगों की कैजुअल्टी होने का समाचार मिला है। अभी 11 लोग उसमें अभी मिसिंग हैं, कुछ घायल लोग हैं, उन सबको मिलाकर चूँकि अभी आंकड़ा 46 का है।
सर पूरे ऑपरेशन में कौन कौन सी फोर्सेज लगी हैं?
इसमें हमारे सेना के लोग लगे हैं, एनडीआरएफ के लगे हैं, एसडीआरएफ के लगे हैं, आईटीबीपी के लगे हैं।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday virtually addressed a joint conference of the Central Vigilance Commission and the Central Bureau of Investigation in Gujarat, in which he hailed a new India which is increasingly using digital tools to push back against age-old corrupt practices. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called on central agencies to strengthen zero-tolerance policy towards corruption and said there should be no safe havens for those committing crimes against the country. The Prime Minister said that his government had established faith among people in the last 7 to 6 years that it was possible to fight corruption and get benefits from various government schemes without involvement of middlemen. During the speech, PM went on to declare that India of the 21st century innovates, initiates and implements. Prime Minister Modi said that people here are seeking a transparent system, efficient processes and smooth governance. He also called upon the officers of CBI and CVC to rededicate themselves to abolish corruption from all wakes of national life.
शास्त्रों में कहा गया है, न्यायमूलम सुराज्यम स्यात्, यानी सुराज्य तभी संभव है जब सभी को न्याय मिले। टेक्नोलॉजी को मानवता के हित में इस्तेमाल करने पर बल देता है। न्यू इंडिया इनोवेट करता है, इनिशिएट करता है और इम्प्लीमेंट भी।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday inaugurated the Kushinagar Airport in Uttar Pradesh. A flight from Sri Lanka became the first to touch down at the newly built airport. While addressing the gathering after the inauguration, the Prime Minister underlined that Kushinagar Airport will help to develop an entire economic ecosystem in this region besides creating new job opportunities for unemployeds. Notably, Kushinagar is regarded as one of the major pilgrimage centers for Buddhism followers from all over the world. It is also worth mentioning here that it is the final resting place of Gautama Buddha, where he attained Maharani Nirvana after his death, and is among the most important pilgrim spots for Buddhists.
कुशीनगर का ये इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट दशकों की आशाओं और अपेक्षाओं का परिणाम है। मेरी खुशी आज दोहरी है। आध्यात्मिक यात्रा के जिज्ञासु के रूप में मन में संतोष का भाव है और पूर्वांचल क्षेत्र के प्रतिनिधि के रूप में भी ये एक कमिट पूरा होने की घड़ी भी है। कुशीनगर के लोगों को, यूपी के लोगों को, पूर्वांचल पूर्वी भारत के लोगों को, दुनिया भर में भगवान बुद्ध के अनुयायियों को कुशीनगर इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई।
कुशीनगर अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डे और बौद्ध हवाई अड्डे का लोकार्पण करें। एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ अभिवादन। जोरदार तालियों के साथ इस यादगार पल, इस लम्हे को जो कि पूरा विश्व अपनी दृष्टि से नजर गड़ाए है, आज के इस ऐतिहासिक पल के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाइयां, शुभकामनाएं। धन्यवाद परम आदरणीय श्रद्धेय यशस्वी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री महोदय जी का, जिनकी कुशल नेतृत्व और आशीर्वाद के साथ ये पल ऐतिहासिक पल में तब्दील हुआ।
In a joint operation, the Border Security Force and the Counter-Intelligence Wing of Punjab Police recovered a cache of arms and ammunition along the barbed wire fence on Indo-Pak border. It was found near Khemkaran village in Tartaran district on Wednesday. Counter-Intelligence Wing Inspector Inderdeep Singh said the seizure included 22 foreign-made pistols, 100 rounds of ammunition, 44 magazines and 1 kg of heroin and 72 grams of opium. The consignment was packed in a bag found between the barbed wire fence and the zero line on the border with Pakistan. The police had a tip off that anti-national elements would try to push in a consignment of weapons into Indian territory from across the border. The information was shared with the BSF battalion concerned and a joint search operation was launched in Khemkaran. Officials suspect that consignment may have been smuggled with drone. Drone movement from Pakistan has been reported in the Khemkaran sector recently. A 22-year-old woman was stabbed to death multiple times, allegedly by her jilted lover in Patiala Road, southwest Delhi's Bindapur area on Tuesday. The deceased woman was being identified as Dolly Babba. Police said that she was attacked by using an edged weapon, causing severe injuries. Police reached the spot and took the injured woman to the hospital, where she was declared dead. The attacker, identified as Ankit Gaba, had been in a relationship with Dolly Babba. The woman's family had alleged that Ankit, who is the man accused, reached out to her several times, but she was not interested. The entire incident was caught on a CCTV camera. CCTV footage of the incident showed 3 men at the spot and one of them stabbed her multiple times. Neighbors told police that it was her former boyfriend. Police said that all 3 men have been arrested in connection with the case and said that further investigation is underway. Meghalaya Chief Minister Congrats Sama on Tuesday said that dialogue and deliberation are the only way out to resolve long-lasting differences. This statement came in relation to the long-lasting interstate boundary issues among the northeast states. Addressing the National People Party's conclave themed Regional Aspiration National Outlook at the DK Convention Hall in Arunachal Pradesh, the Chief Minister said that we often harden our stand without knowing the issue. He said we should be able to differentiate between stand and issue. He observed that most of the issues in the northeast are economy related and that the region needs an economy agenda and needs to start deliberation on economy related issues. Sangma also opined that northeast needs to have a common agenda on climate change and international trade. He clarified that objective of the conclave was to ignite discussions and create buzz over important issues. After Navjot Singh Sidhu resigned as in protest against 2 key appointments made by Chiranjit Channi, Navjot Singh Sidhu withdrew his resignation again, but problems within the Punjab Congress is still far from over. During a meeting held in Chandigarh on Sunday, there was a heated exchange of words between Channi and Sidhu over 13-point agenda raised by Sidhu. The agenda irked Channi to a point where he decided to offer resignation. According to sources, Channi challenged Sidhu and asked him to take action on his 13-point agenda within 2 months. Aryan Khan's bail request was rejected today by a court in Mumbai in the drugs on cruise case. The 23-year-old son of film star Shah Rukh Khan has been in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail since October 8. Aryan Khan, his friend Arbaz Marchant and 7 others were arrested by the Narcotics Control Bureau on October 3. Aryan Khan's lawyer have argued that no drugs were found on him when NCB officers in disguise raided a rave party on a cruise ship.
भाई मेरा घूम ले ना 1 मिनट रुक जा यार उसको आने दो The court has thought that it would serve the interest of justice by keeping him behind. Law ordinarily of bail, in spite of stringent provisions of NDPS Act, in these facts of the case, would not want a person to be kept in custody by way of punishment. The argument by the prosecution while opposing bail was that he may temper the evidence because he is an influential person. I am afraid ordinarily the court take bald allegations.
Union Minister of State Independent Charge, Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh on Tuesday said that Northeast is to be developed as India's bioeconomic hub. The minister in his speech stated that the Eastern Himalayan region is one of the mega biodiversity rich zones and is also one among the 34 biodiversity hotspots of the world. The Ministry of Science and Technology in a press statement stated that the minister spoke about the bioeconomic hub after he visited Institute of Bioresources and Sustainable Development in Imphal. The minister further stated that India's bioeconomy is on its way to achieve $150 billion target from current $70 billion by 2025 and will also contribute to Prime Minister's vision of $5 trillion economy by 2024 to 2025. With the new appointments made by Chief of Maharashtra Pradesh Congress Nana Patole's senior Congress leader Sachin Sawant against the appointment has resigned from the post of party spokesperson in Maharashtra. The decision of resignation came about as Patole decided to appoint Atul Londhe, former NCP leader, as chief spokesperson of Maharashtra Congress. It was further learned that Sawant has also removed his designation from his Twitter bio. Reports further stated that Sawant has wrote a letter to Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi requesting a new role in the party. Sawant, Congress veteran of 3 decades, serving as a general secretary in the party and chief spokesperson for 10 years, was demoted to assistant spokesperson by Patole. Singapore started quarantine-free entry for fully vaccinated passengers from 8 countries on Tuesday, as part of a plan to ease restrictions as the business hub prepare for living with the coronavirus. The most recent easing expanded a program that began last month with vaccinated air travel lanes with Germany and Brunei. According to reports, the country is now open to passengers from the United States, Canada, Britain, Denmark, France, Italy, Spain and the Netherlands, while South Korea passengers to get entry from November 15. Singapore has also allowed entry to unvaccinated children aged 12 years and under if they are accompanied by someone flying under the scheme. A Brazilian Senate committee will on Wednesday ask the President Jair Bolsonaro be charged with intentional crimes over his management of the COVID-19 pandemic. This mismanagement of the president has left 6 lakhs of his fellow citizens dead. For 6 months of eventful hearings with emotional witness statements and chilling revelations about the use of ineffective of medication on human guinea pigs, the Committee of Inquiry will deliver its eagerly awaited report. While the accusations are serious, the process may be just symbolic since Bolsonaro enjoys enough congressional support to avoid the opening of impeachment proceedings. The Indian delegation and Taliban officers will meet for the first time on Wednesday in Russia at the Moscow format meeting. The Indian delegation at the Moscow format will be led by JP Singh, the Joint Secretary who heads the Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran desk in the External Affairs Ministry. The Moscow format meeting on Wednesday will include representatives from 10 countries and a high-level Taliban delegation, Russia said. The Moscow format, which involves Russia, Afghanistan, India, Iran, China and Pakistan, was established in 2017 as a six-party mechanism. It was subsequently expanded to include more countries, with meeting held in Moscow in 2017 and 2018. That is all for now. Keep watching Nagaland TV for more news and updates.